financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic, a key helper in tough times, the durable power of attorney. Pat Simasco, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Jeffrey Kirshner.
Good morning.
Brian Small.
Always a pleasure. Wait,
Hi.
now I just want to know, in the opening now, because we're filming this, should there be some sort of ominous music that goes with the title, A Key Helper in Tough Times, the Durable Power of Attorney?
Oh my God. We need
There
to hire
should
him.
have been
there's
some
our voiceover.
music, but now that we have
Wow.
Brian's little gloss there, I don't think
Wow.
we
You're not
need
just
it.
a pretty face. Well, no, you're
Oh,
not.
yes, I am just a pretty
Let's
face.
just hope the camera's
The face-
zero.
the
Let's
face
hope
made
the
for
camera's
radio.
zoomed in on you while that shot was going. So here's the thing. We're going to talk, a durable power of attorney is an estate plan component, and it doesn't get the attention that it deserves.
It's the most important guy.
The most important. The components of an estate plan, you got a revocable living trust, pour-over will, durable power of attorney, a patient advocate, or also a healthcare power of attorney in Michigan. They're the same thing. But people tend to focus and they think about the estate plan on the dying issue. And when you're dying versus when you're living are both issues in an estate plan.
People think if I have a will, it covers everything under the sun. It can make my medical decisions. It can make my financial decisions. It passes away. It avoids probate. It's just one tool in the toolbox. You need all the tools in the toolbox.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the powers of attorney are documents that only count when you're living. The moment you're gone, the power of attorney has no legal effect. But the durable power and the healthcare power are critical while living. The will, by contrast, is only operative when you've passed away and you're gone. Until then, the will has no legal significance. The trust, in that regard, is a hybrid because it applies while you're living. It provides succession as to managing your affairs, similar to what a power of attorney can do. And then it also addresses where your assets go when you pass away. But let's talk about the powers of attorney first. The durable power of attorney, what does it do? Pat, what does a durable power do?
You're giving someone authority to make your financial decisions. Go to the bank for you, cash checks, deal with your IRAs. Do you ever try and call Comcast Cable? If you're not the person, you're never going to be able to get through to them.
That's exactly the circumstance that I used with my father. I had his durable power of attorney. Comcast kept charging him for Cinemax month after month. And I'd say, Dad, did you order Cinemax? What's Cinemax? Why would I order Cinemax? I don't know anything about Cinemax. So I'd call Comcast up. They had my power of attorney on file for him, and they would remove the charge. And then they would promise to code the file so he couldn't order Cinemax anymore. And then the following month, Cinemax would be on the bill again. Explain that one to me.
This whole concept of the durable power of attorney, you know, Cinemax is an easy example, but the reality is what it allows you to do is for somebody who no longer has the capacity to make informed decisions or to deal with those issues themselves, it gives someone else in the family or a friend the ability to help you fix your problems and fix your issues financially that you can't do anymore. Grandma can't sit on the phone for 4 hours with Visa to figure out why she got charged for that trip to China that she never took.
It's not always grandma.
Yeah, also people think, well, I have a medical power of attorney, that covers everything. Or I have a financial power of attorney, that covers everything. It's two separate, and so many people will go to the lawyer and say, I need a medical power of attorney, and the lawyer gives them what they want, a medical power of attorney. I don't do that. I give them what they need. a medical power of attorney and a financial.
you've gotta cover
gotta
both.
have
And actually,
both.
I've run into that
Yeah.
dealing with my cases, especially Social Security,
Yeah, all the
where you're dealing
time.
with adult individuals who have mainly psychological issues, even some who have physical injuries, who are incapacitated,
Even-
that need somebody
Even
to
beyond
step in.
that, I'll give you an example. I have power of attorney over my daughter. She's a college student. There was a problem with her tuition bill. They sent her a bill for like $38,000.
Right, so this isn't because you're a control freak. This is because you need to.
Well,
be
he
able
is a
to-
control freak, but that's
I may
against-
be, but that's irrelevant. I was able to send them the power of attorney I have for my daughter. I fixed it properly instead of having her go sit at the registrar's
Or let's
office for 4
say
hours.
you're making a tuition payment, or you're handling her bills for her.
Well, I do.
And she's away at school.
That's important because there's two types of power of attorneys. One is only valid if you're incapacitated. That's a springing durable power of attorney, or a general durable power of attorney is that you have authority to act immediately. So for most people, durable power of attorneys are the way to go.
It's crazy because most people
That's
think
the immediate
that-
versus springing is an issue sometimes.
most people think that your college-age student, it's my daughter, it's my son. I can make decisions for them. I can make financial decisions. I can make medical decisions. Reality, they
can.
turned 18. You can't do anything
Right.
unless you've got the proper documents.
Right.
Yeah, the springing versus immediate issue. It's easy to say make it immediate and a durable when mom and dad are in their 80s and either you're giving the power to the son or the daughter or to the spouse, and there's a long history of trust. Suppose you're in your 40s, husband and wife, they're doing an estate plan, and the marriage is stable but a little on the edge. People need to realize the durable power of attorney is essentially handing someone else your signature and authority to do everything you could possibly do. So when we get together with people, we go over that issue to really kind of snuff out, do you want to make the power of attorney springing in the case where it's not a situation where it's cut and dried? You got to be careful about that. So you got college kids, you've got the elderly, you've
got everyone. That's the reality. Every single person that exists needs to have at least the components of an estate plan for the living, the power of attorney and the medical power of attorney.
So here's the question: when do they need it by?
Yesterday.
They need it at least the day before they get sick.
Absolutely.
And the day
we're coming
before.
up to a break, and I want to talk about the healthcare power of attorney a bit as well, because that's a different item from the other.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP.
All right, welcome back. All right, so we're on powers of attorney. Pat, if I recall, you
Yeah.
have two pet peeves.
Well, the one of them is first, mom. The first pet peeves is they only get one or the other. You need them both. If you go to a lawyer, you got to give them both.
You
The
have
medical
healthcare
and the
power
finance.
versus
Absolutely.
durable power.
And the second was they only pick their spouse to be the power of attorney. I picked my wife to be my power of attorney. Pick my. They don't put a
I
second
don't
or
understand.
third
What's
one down.
the problem with that when mom is 93 years old
Yeah.
and at the same time as
Yeah,
dad?
they're in the car accident and mom passed away and dad's sitting there head up.
gotta have an alternate.
You got to have put two down, put three down, put an order down. Put more than one person, not all at the same time, but I pick my husband first, and then I pick my daughter, then I pick my son.
You know, somebody asked me the other day, is it okay to have two people have a power of attorney?
You can have two for financial, either or and acting together. Banks hate that. They want either or. Medical, though, you have to only have one person because if Johnny says pull the plug and Mary says leave it in, the doctor's throwing their
so
hands
the statute
up.
in the healthcare says only one.
have one.
And as a general rule, on a durable, it's usually not a good idea because the banks don't like it. If the two don't get along, then you have the. Then do you draft it? It could be either one can act, that you can do, but if both have to act, then you're creating the same problem that you're trying to avoid from the
But
beginning.
off topic too, though. Also, wouldn't that be true also with guardianship as well, with children, with minor children?
Yeah, picking one or two, have an order.
Having a
yeah.
succession as
Yeah.
to what happens if the person you choose originally.
That's the
something
one
happens to.
reason why people do not get their paperwork done with minor children. If you could pick one reason why they never do it, they can't agree on who's going to be guardian for the kids.
And they need to.
They got to make the decision. They have to.
You can make
Otherwise,
the
the
decision.
court's going to make the decision.
You can make
for
the
you.
decision and change it.
Right.
It's not permanent. You can then
Well,
change it.
he wants
and do
his
it
mom.
codicil
She
to
wants
the-
her
Well, and
mom,
here's
and
the
they
thing
can't
about
see
it-
And
each
actually,
other.
are the moms the worst people to have?
Well, I don't want to say that.
No, I'm talking about. Well, no offense, moms, and I love you.
I'm not
but in
gonna
terms
say that
in,
either.
in terms of
No
an age
way.
thing, though, wouldn't you want somebody more contemporary to you?
You
that
pick
know-
mom first, and then if she can't do it, then you pick the
For
sister.
the
reality
record,
is
Jeffrey
that-
Kirschner is the one that
Sorry,
said the
Mom.
was the worst one
But
to do.
here's the thing that's important to realize: if you're a parent and you're husband and wife trying to do an estate plan, Steve can choose his mother to be the guardian of his children. Susan can choose her mother to be the guardian of her children that happen to be the children together. It's only when
One
both
dies,
they
and
both
then-
get hit by the same
Right.
bus at the same
And
time.
then you decide which one has.
Then the court is still going to get involved. But you don't have to agree on who's going to be the guardian because if you're the survivor of the other, the kids first go to you.
Yeah,
and then
it's always
going
going
to
to go to the other.
We
to
had
the
that big
parent.
problem. Remember the Tara Grant case up in Shelby Township where the husband killed the wife and chopped
Yeah.
I was involved with the adoptions of the kids and the guardians. I handled
was a nasty
for the
situation.
sister, and they never picked guardians for the kids, and that was a big war
Yeah.
between his mom and sister versus.
I remember the news media covered that whole war. a
Oh,
lot,
it
too.
was
Yeah.
it was horrible. That was a
bad,
horrible.
bad situation. All right, so we're coming up to a break, and we've done a good job on the durable power. Let's just talk about why the revocable living trust. They talk about avoiding probate all the time as being one of the benefits of the trust. If your assets are transferred into your trust while you're living, then when you pass away, you can transfer the assets to your beneficiaries without going through the probate process.
It's especially
That's a
important for
benefit.
real estate because if you don't put the house or real estate that you own into the trust, it's going to have to go through probate.
Right.
On the death of the second spouse, because it'll pass automatically to the first spouse, but then when mom, who's the widow, passes away, it's going to have to be
If they
probated at
own
that
it
point.
properly in the first place.
Yeah.
So the first question people ask, well, if I have a trust, why do I need a power of attorney? Trust only covers trust assets. Your IRA is never in your trust. Your Comcast cable is never in your trust. Your pension check is never in your trust. So you have to have the financial power of attorney to handle your personal items. The trust handles the trust items.
And plus, once you have the durable power, you can give that to the bank. You don't have to give them a copy of the
Right,
trust or your
right.
certificate of trust. Here's the thing that I always run into, and I'm sure you guys do. But I don't want to spend the money on a trust. I just want a simple will. And what I say to people is this. The time when we do an estate plan that is expended is meeting with the client, figuring out what your needs are, what you need, who you want the assets to go, and making sure those things are covered properly in the plan. Whether we put that plan into a trust document or a will is really no consequence on time. A trust may be a few pages longer than a will, but that's not where the time's absorbed. So it's a misnomer to think trust is expensive, will is cheap. When you go to an estate planner that says $5,000 for a trust and $800 for a will, he's overcharging for the trust. It's not that it's $800 is probably too cheap, but $5,000 is ridiculous. The reason for doing the trust is it's the smarter tool to handle your estate plan. You see it the same way?
Yeah, all the time, yeah.
All the time that
People
comes
say,
up.
well, I want to avoid probate. I can put people down on my accounts and things like that, which you can, but that doesn't mean it's a better plan. It just means
it's actually
plan.
much riskier to add people onto your bank accounts and add people onto the deeds of your home because you expose your assets to the troubles of those individuals.
So here's the question. On a joint bank account, mom puts her 3 kids on the joint bank account. Who owns the money in the joint bank account?
All 4 of them.
First one to the bank.
First one to the bank,
First one to the bank.
And if any one of the kids file a bankruptcy, you've got
all
a major problem.
House
We
too.
talk about it as old school. Leave old school at the schoolhouse. You don't want to use the estate planning techniques that were used in the 1950s and 60s. Nowadays, the world's too technical, and with bankruptcy and divorce and the aggressive way that attorneys go about pursuing things, you need to be much more careful. That's why an estate plan is the proper tool to use.
Absolutely.
Let's take a break, and then we're going to talk about mom and dad.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Fav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Fav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you're approaching retirement and don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your investments, and your savings. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Putting a solid strategy in place with Samasco Law legally protects your assets as well as your wishes. Since a will doesn't cover you medically or financially, Samasco Law goes beyond ordinary asset management protection to safeguard everything you have.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Fav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Fav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Fav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem.
Time for announcements. I want to remind our viewers to listen to us Thursdays 3 to 4 for Law and Reality Now on 9:10 a.m. with Cliff Russell. We've got seminars coming up on Wednesday, August 2, 6 to 7:30 p.m. From debt to savings, all you need to do is take action. We're going to go through all the methods and systems we use to preserve future income so that your cash starts going in the bank and you start saving for retirement rather than giving that money to the banks and Visa and MasterCard every month. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Seminar is free. Sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Then on Wednesday, August 16th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., we have a seminar, 300 Reasons Not to Wait on Doing an Estate Plan. We're going to go through estate planning steps for the middle-aged, avoiding probate, avoiding the big mistakes people are making these days in trying to handle this estate planning on their own. Attendees will also be eligible for a free durable power of attorney for all their college-age children if they go ahead and do an estate plan. There'll also be a $300 certificate to those attending. The seminar will also talk about estate planning needs for mom and dad. Pat Simasko will join us and talk about elder law care issues on that point. Want to remind our viewers to always go to the websites, thavgross.com, lawandreality.com. You can always click and request a free consultation, whether it's for debt issues, tax issues, elder law issues with Pat Simasko, disability or workers' comp issues with Jeffrey Kirshner. You can call 888-235-HELP to schedule a consultation, or you can click and request a consultation on the websites. We'll be right back.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, welcome back. All right, so we've talked about the durable power. We talked about the regular estate plan that people need and the components. Let's talk about mom and dad. They're in their mid-80s. Their health is borderline at this point, but on the horizon is the problem of one of them, both of them may need the nursing home. What does that entail? How is that a completely different situation than the normal estate plan?
So again, people think that I have a trust and it covers all my assets. It just covers it from probate. It doesn't protect the assets from a nursing home. Again, it's just a tool in the toolbox. The financial power of attorney is more important because the people have those old power of attorneys, a lot of them get them from the UAW legal service. They don't have the language that the family needs in the power of attorney to allow us to protect the assets from the nursing home. So you have to have an updated power of attorney is number one.
What people don't realize is you need an updated power of attorney signed and notarized before mom and dad no longer have the capacity to sign it.
Before it's too late to do it.
Yeah, then you need to get that done, and if you don't have it, then you run out of time to accomplish what you need.
Well, do you run out of time? Can you go to court and get that power from the court?
No, see, the court, you have to go get permission from the court to do stuff, and it screws everything up. And there's a lot of judges out there that don't want to do Medicaid planning. They don't like the idea of Medicaid planning. So get the power of attorney before it's too late. Get it updated. Remember those old dial phones, Ken? Remember those old dial phones like this? And now you have the iPhone that you can fly a helicopter from. You need that helicopter power of attorney that can protect the assets. But again, then you just have to sit down and implement a Medicaid plan to protect the assets.
All right, so a nursing home costs $9,000 to $12,000 a month. Okay, what's the what's the average stay?
About 32 months. And people think we're going into a dump nursing home. It's almost the same nursing home. Most nursing
Usually
homes are
it's the same.
Medicaid and private pay. So that bed that's costing you $12,000 a month may cost $1,500 a month on Medicaid.
So here's the thing. Mom and dad have a house. It's paid for, worth a couple $100,000. They've got an IRA, couple IRAs, $300,000, and they've got $70,000 in the bank, and they got a car paid for. Okay? So mom and dad are okay, but if all of a sudden mom needs to go in the nursing home and she's there for 33 months at $10,000 a month, that's $330,000. What about dad? How's dad going to live?
Right.
People think, oh, well, I don't want to go do Medicaid planning or anything like that. It's wrong.
You're protecting
it's essential.
Yeah. So this is the case. We can protect every dime of that money for dad. Okay, we can protect it. As a married couple, I can protect every dime of the assets. Medicaid wants to protect the spouse at home if you know the rules. They won't tell you the rules. If you know the rules, we can protect it. This is a problem. Dad's got cancer and mom's got dementia. Who's the beneficiary of dad's IRA? Mom. Dad dies, it goes to mom. She's a single person. She's only allowed $2,000 and a house.
How do you solve that
We
problem?
have to make it set up that if dad dies, it bypasses mom and goes down to the kids in a special trust that it's protected from mom. If we're protected from mom's Medicaid or nursing home
Yeah, but is
issue.
it protected from the kids?
If you set it up in a right trust, you put the good kid in charge of watching over the money. So this is the rule. If you have 5 kids...
Which one of your kids is the good one?
Well, here you
I haven't
go.
figured that out
What are
yet.
you going to say?
You got 5 kids, one of them's probably a bad kid, right? Divorces, bankruptcies, spendthrift, alcoholic. Don't put that kid in charge. Put the good kid in charge.
And
of
even if you
watching
have
over
the wrong
money.
kid in charge, I know we've talked about it. You have a system of you can then remove the trustee if you want.
Yeah. And if you don't, if you look at the 5 kids and you can't tell which one's the bad kid, you're probably the bad kid.
To summarize it quickly, you need to plan for mom and dad in their mid-80s in that situation. Step number 1 is if they don't have a durable power of attorney in proper form with the authorities that needed for Medicaid planning, not the typical UAW durable, that needs to be taken care of tomorrow
It's
or
not,
today.
see, those
Then,
power attorneys,
when the problem happens, you can address it.
right, it's here. The UAW lawyers are great lawyers. The lawyers that did the power of attorneys are great lawyers. But it's like going to the family doctor because you got cancer. You want to go to the cancer specialist.
You need a
You got to
specialist.
go to that specialist to talk about those issues.
Lots of issues. Thanks for being with us, Pat, Jeffrey, Brian. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.